Hey everyone, Classic Joey Mac here. I wanted to get on. It's been a little bit of a hiatus on my videos, and I haven't used Tumblr quite as much. So I wanted to get back on that. Certainly don't want to lose momentum. In fact, in the next month or two, I'll probably be celebrating 1 year on Tumblr. So that's pretty cool. So the holiday season obviously had a lot to contribute as to why I did not get on to YouTube or Tumblr. So I wanted to get back on, and I'm not here to talk about the holidays, but I do want to discuss something that did happen over the holiday season. My childhood mall, the mall that I grew up with that was the closest to my house. Well, not the closest to my house, technically, but the one that I spent the most time in, Granite Run Mall in Media, Pennsylvania, has closed. It is now officially closed. For the last couple of years, there's been a lot of rumors as to will it close, will it not close, is it getting bought, is it not getting bought, is the hospital across the street buying it, what's happening? Well, that was all settled about a year ago. And it was purchased. It will be closed. It will be gutted, from what I understand. Some stores in the area will stay, but it will be closed, and I believe it's going to be made into apartments, condos, townhouses, some strip mall type of shops, and maybe a couple of restaurants. But the mall itself is gone, or will be gone. It is closed now. Over the holidays, we did go a few more times. My wife came with me and my daughter and even my dad at one point. Just to visit, just to walk around, just to do some things, do a little shopping. While my wife was doing some shopping at the few stores that were even open, I went around with my camera or my camera on my phone, I should say. And I took a bunch of pictures. I just took several pictures from inside and outside the mall. I figured at that point, no one's going to stop me. Security, they might even have security there. I didn't get a chance to go, it's not like I got a chance to go through every little aspect of the mall. I didn't walk over all the way to the movie theater to get some pictures there or anything like that. That will also be closed. But I got a genuine... enough of an idea of what the mall was like, and I was pretty happy with that. But it's gone, and what does that mean? I mean, why am I on here? I mean, some 15 or 14-year-old, if they're watching this, is probably like, what the hell is this guy on here for? What the hell is this 29-year-old guy bitching about that a mall is closing? Well, I am 29, which means that I'll be 30, in a month or so. So for me, that's 25. Let's say 20 years ago, in 2000 or in 1995, I would have been 9 or 10 years old, depending on what it is. In the late 90s, I was a young teenager. In the early 2000s, even, I was a older teenager or getting into my 20s. It was a big deal. I had grown up, when a mall becomes important to you, that's your 10-year-old through, let's say 18. And majority of that for me was in the 90s and some in the early 2000s. And back then, a mall was it was a big deal. Like every Friday night or Saturday night, mostly Saturdays, I was at a mall, specifically Granite Run, just hanging out with buddies or whoever, and we'd go to that AMC movie theater. We would go to Ruby Tuesdays, grab some meat, or Scotto's Pizza, or Sbarro Pizza. Or even Baines Deli, with my dad or something. That was the place to go. You just went to... When you didn't know where else to go with your friends, you went to the mall. I can explicitly remember dozens of times just hanging there with some buddies, just going out and going with some friends and going to the mall. It was a big part of my culture at that time, and it's a big part of my life just overall. I remember being in that mall. I was with a friend of mine, and there was a couple of jewelers in that mall. And I remember looking for engagement rings for my wife. I didn't get any there, but I can remember being a young kid, younger than 10, and going through Sears. Now, before we had GameStops, a lot of the department stores were the only places that you would buy games, or maybe Toys R Us. And I remember going into Sears, and if anyone remembers this, you'd go into Sears and you'd be in some sort of clothing aisle, or not clothing section, and then all of a sudden there's like this small, like almost kiosk, and it was like video games, like their video game section. It was like hidden in like the women's department, and it was literally like finding a diamond in the jungle, because you'd go in and you got to play, the old Game Boys, and you got to see like the Super Nintendo games or Nintendo games and Genesis and stuff, and that's where you would go. Like that's, I'd go to KB Toys and I'd find action figures and shit. It would take, I could sit here for hours and reminiscing. But, for someone that's my age, it's a big deal. It was a big deal to me. That was where we used to go. That's where we went to have fun. It was a free place unless you wanted to spend money, but you could just literally go there and walk around. I remember getting thrown out of, what was it? Macy's furniture store, because it was the only one that went up 3 stories, and we were just wanted to get up there and like throw things at people from the top floor or whatever. It was just like this random place that you would just go and cause mischief or hang out or whatever. It's just I don't know how else to put it in words. And to see it go, obviously, is a display of today's culture. I don't think kids are really going to the mall. And that's a gross generalization, because there are places in America where that malls are still strong. But it seems definitely like in my area, and that's a pretty big area at this point, the Philadelphia area, a lot of these malls are closing. Or they're dives compared to what they used to be. Another mall that I used to go to, actually, I believe is closed as well, Tri-State Mall. And they used to have a Kmart. I used to meet my grandfather there, and we'd eat at the Kmart Diner. That's probably very foreign to people. Or the Yum Yum Bar inside, and just Value City. And what this all means to me is, well, today, America's obviously changed. And I'm not going to sit here and make a case that a mall is efficient. I mean, years ago, I used to say, online shopping will ultimately destroy a lot of these places. There is just something fun about it. The 90s were a completely different time where, instead of sitting on my phone like a zombie or whatever, we'd go out. You'd go to the mall, you'd hit up a place, you'd go to a gas station and grab nachos and eat on the curb. I mean, it's a completely different time. And that mall culture is gone now. But it was a big deal for me, and I spent many a night in Granite Run Mall. And the funny part about a mall is, just like so many other aspects of our life, I can remember going there, like as a kid with friends and just hanging out, or going to the movies, and then to the mall to hang out. But then there's also times where I remember going with my mom or dad, and you're going back to school shopping, or whatever. You're finding a gift for X, whoever. It was, hell, I remember having dates at the mall. Like, it's just crazy. I've gotten my picture taken with Santa at that mall 100 times. My daughter got her picture taken with Santa there. Her first Christmas on this earth. We wanted to make sure that we did that. So I did take a bunch of pictures of it. I actually stole a piece of, all the different points of the mall, there's like these flower displays. They're all fake flowers. I stole one of the what is it, wood chips or whatever that used to have it. I couldn't get my hands on anything else, so it's just a little memory piece for me. So, but it's sad to see it go because I've spent so much money there. I spent so much time there, and I'll never be able to go there again. I've gotten my hair cut in that mall for the past 9, almost 10 years. And then I'm not going to do that again. I got my hair cut for the last time in that mall the week before Christmas. I've probably got my hair cut there, God, at least 100 times. I mean, that's crazy. It's just sad. It's sad, and I wanted to throw that out there because I think people my age will be able to understand that. And I'm not one of these people who's like, oh, we should have everything open forever. I know. I just now know what my parents, I guess, felt like when maybe 24-hour diners started dying out more, or whatever, drive-ins or whatever you want it is. I think it's that equivalent where it's like my mall's closed, and for me, life was going to the mall, playing in the arcade, going to the movies, eating whatever, Chick-fil-A or Burger King or McDonald's, whatever the hell was in there at the times, grabbing a slice at Sbarro, more than likely, and it's just like, that's gone. It was just that was our time. That's what we did, and you can't do that now, and that's sad to me. But so I wanted to remember Granite Run Mall, so I have some pictures. I figured I'd put them on here, have a little slideshow here at the end for those that may just want to see it or relate. So you can find all of my videos, poems, writings, opinions, everything on my Tumblr, so check that out. And then also make sure you hit me up on my Twitter and follow me, and ask me some questions or interact with me. I'm always looking for ideas for videos, and let me know as well. Your experience with being in a mall, especially if you're my age, or I like talking to people that are younger and older than me too, like that maybe don't understand what I'm talking about or don't understand why it's a big deal. So hit me up on my Twitter and my Tumblr. So, all right, guys. Well, you guys keep it classic, and here's a couple pictures. All right, see ya.